What if you also want to have a look at the response? Well, I'm going to use the same interceptor here. I could push a new one though, but generally you can have a look at the response by accessing your next function here and passing an argument to it. This argument is also a function where we will get the response as an argument. This is of course automatically provided by the resource, and then we can use the response here. For example, we could change the way response JSON works. Let's make our app work again. Right now in fetch data, we're looping through an array here, and that doesn't work anymore because we don't get back an array. Instead, we get back an object here where we simply have email and username. So no need to loop through all the keys anymore. There are no multiple keys. There aren't any cryptic keys anymore. To make this code work again though, and that is of course a bit of a constructed example here, but it shows how to set up such interceptors well. So here we could override the response.json method. Now be careful about this, of course, because this will affect all your requests. So you may not really want to do this in your production app, but in a case where you do need to change certain parts about your response, this is how you can do it. So I can override the built-in JSON method, which we use here to extract the data. And we need to extract some kind of object again where we can loop through all the keys. So I will basically say this is a function, ES6 function it is here. And all I want to do is I want to return a new object where I now have any key, let's name it messages, so that I have some keys or at least one key here to loop through, which is equal to my response body, like this. This now allows me to extract my response body, something response JSON would have done normally, but store it in a separate object which has an extra key for that, so that looping through all the keys and then extracting the user as a value for that key will work again. So if we have a look at this and now hit get data again, you now see it works again, because now I adjusted the response JSON method. And this shows you how you can use interceptors to change both your request or your response. Of course, you don't have to change it. Of course, you may only want to change some headers, for example. Maybe you only want to print or log it. That's totally up to you. This is how you can use interceptors on each request and response. And be aware, as we do it here, you can always create your own filters with if statements to make sure you check if it's a certain type of response or a certain type of request, and so on.